My name is Edward Shatov, Augustinian of the Assumption, religious and priest. I'm of Russian origin. Came to Canada 12 years ago. I lived in France, United Kingdom and Russia, and my vocation story is to be called by God and search God in daily life. I was asked by the congregation to come here and to foster already existing mission for fostering the reflection and deepening faith for adults, for youth. And here in Quebec, in Canada, in Quebec City, in Canada, we have a center that is called Culture and Faith. So we reflect on relationship between faith and culture and faith, and how these two realities could be in dialogue, also can challenge each other, and also make us closer to God and grow in humanity. What I'm sure that every brother in the community is taking part in this mission at very different levels and by different means, but they're all very attentive, and what we can see recently is the growing interest of young people and less young people to the realities of faith, deepening their faith in Jesus Christ, but also how they can live it in daily life. And this is what really, I think, the community life, Assumption is community life, and lay religious alliance, how religiously with lay people could be very helpful, encouraging, inspiring, but at the same time being really realistic. Maybe we always could think about 3 steps. The first step is to recognize for every young person, but also less young person, for everyone in fact, but maybe particular for the young people, that we are loved by God. God doesn't love the idea of myself or what I could be. God loves me as I am, here and now. The second thing is, the second step is to say, okay, I acknowledge that God loves me as I am, but this version of me is not a complete version. And so from this day on, I can walk with God and to work on the version of myself in communion with others. And certainly sometimes there will be successes, sometimes will be maybe failures as well, and sometimes maybe we will live stagnation, like routine, and not to be discouraged by this, but just to continue to walk. So we're all invited to walk together, to support each other, to encourage each other. Sometimes maybe admonish each other and to point a few difficulties where improvement could be made. The working together is not all about the valorization. The working together is about taking care of each other. In the time of Reformation, from Latin, the word that John Tyndale coined to translate the word mercy, misericordia, it was loving kindness. Or in the community life, it's very easy, and maybe for the young, less young people it could be helpful. The one thing is to realize, and I realize for me in everyday life, that my brothers, they will not disappear. Sometimes I might imagine that it would be a good idea to live with someone whom I know in Europe, or with someone whom I know in Asia, or in the US, or in England, or in France. But I'm not living with them. I can communicate with them. I can always be affectionate, but I am living with my brothers here in Quebec City, in Canada, and they will not disappear. So I can make the communion with them as they are. And what helpful really, that I know that God loves me, but God loves them as well. The future for the mission of Montmartre in Quebec City. I'm not God. So the easy answer will be, I don't know. But when I say this, I don't know, I have hopes. And my hopes for our presence here, that due to our love of relationship with God, which is expressed in prayer, which is expressed in study of the biblical text, the text of the tradition of the church, and also of the contemporary culture, we can just grow and to contribute to the quest for the meaning of life and to this connection of people with God. We have a few projects. Some of them, I'm sure, will be realized with the help of God, and some maybe not. But what is very encouraging, and it's a few people who told me this, they said, when before they came to Montmartre, they thought about the Bible study, the prayer as something tasteless, routine but tasteless. They said, thanks to you, we rediscovered the taste of these realities. And we will continue, and with you and with other people, to do this. And it also applies to the charitable work that we contribute. You know, like the welcoming Ukrainian family these days, like welcoming a Syrian family before. And it's your effort of spiritual growth, but also solidarity growth. And we will continue. And hopefully, there will be growth in lay religious alliance and in our connection with young people, and even, I hope, in vocations and the young men joining religious life.